Hey guys, it's Ivan, and today we'll show you how we sequence this Roland JV1010 via MIDI from the ground control. Roland JV series are iconic romplers from the 90s, extensively used in the film industry more than any other synthesizers, and we'll finish off with a short jam of a track by Thom Yorke named Volk. So the JV1010 is a 16-part multi-timbral MIDI-controlled synthesizer module full of famous sounds from the past, and we'll be sequencing it with multiple tracks from the ground control using a B-standard TRS MIDI cable adapter like this. And then we'll process the Roland stereo output using the GHOST FX module. So first of all, to connect the two, we have to connect the MIDI, and we're using this MIDI cable adapter that comes like that. So we just simply plug this into here to the MIDI out on the ground control, and then the MIDI cable goes on the back of this Roland unit. Let's hear if the connection is successful by playing some of the sounds from the ground control track number 1, which will send MIDI on MIDI track 1. JV1010 has 16 parts, and each can be set to any of the 16 MIDI channels, and for this video we'll use all 4 tracks from the ground control to sequence 3 melodies as layers and 1 drum kit. Let's see how to change the MIDI track channels on the ground control, and first let's select track number 1, press tempo and MIDI, and use the arrow keys to change the MIDI channel like this. So we can select any of the 16 available MIDI channels. By default, the melodic tracks are already set to channel number 1, 2 and 3, and since I already found all the cool sounds for the JV1010 channels, and I still have no idea how to save a sound selection on this unit, we'll practice the MIDI setup on another MIDI channel number 4. So again, let's press track number 1, select the MIDI, set it to channel number 4, and then over here we have a knob that selects which part we want to change, and I will set it to part number 4. Then what we can do is use this encoder to scroll through sounds, and we can start playing them. Let's just check out the different sounds it has. As you can see, there's plenty of sounds to choose from. As you can see, everything is working fine, and using the same process we can select the sounds for all of the other melodic tracks. The drum setup is slightly different. The JV1010 drum track is reserved on MIDI channel 10 as for the general MIDI standard. And conveniently, our drum track on the ground control is also set to channel 10 by default. So let's switch to drum track D over here and play some sounds to hear the drum hits that are available on this unit. Since the drum track on the ground control has 8 notes while JV1010's drum kit is much larger, we can change the drum notes mapping on each key which ground control sends by pressing the tempo scale on the drum track. So let's do that, tempo, scale. As you can see, now we have all of the setup MIDI notes over here. So let's say I want to change this sound. All I have to do is just press the plus minus keys and select different MIDI notes. So using this technique, we can select exactly which percussion sounds we would like to play on each of the 8 trigger notes. Now our setup is done, and at the end of the chain we'll be using Ghost that will be adding delay and reverse reverb with some filtering and compression. We plug the stereo output of the JV1010 straight to its inputs, and the outputs are going directly to the recorder. I have to also mention that I will be using the reverse reverb over here, and you can do that by pressing the routing button and the freeze button. And this way I can use it creatively to add fills to the drum sounds, as you will hear. So without further ado, let's play around with the patterns I have previously pre-recorded and see how the Ghost can affect this whole sound palette coming from the Roland box. It's good to mention that I'm also clock syncing the delay time of the Ghost using the sequencer with a cable over here. And all of the patterns are set to lock, so I can change them all at the same time. Now let's unmute our drums. As you can hear, I can use it as a fill. Let's switch to the next pattern. And to the next one. Let's change delay time. Patterns. Let's disconnect the clock so we can go a bit faster with the delay time. I hope you enjoyed this rather unusual setup from us and learned something new, and the ground control project files, as always, will be included in the description on this video so you can try the same patterns at your setup at home. As you can see, it's very easy to use ground control as external MIDI sequencer, and having Ghost processing the whole composition adds much more depth and variation to your sound. So that's all for today. Don't forget to press the like button if you enjoyed this video, and have fun making music. We'll see you next time.